Hello, my friends. Good afternoon. It's about 2 o'clock and Friday. No, it's Thursday. It's a Thursday in August in Florida. In this video, I'll read to you about lesson number 2, Aptitude. This is my binder from when I wrote down my goals. I've written my goals down several times in my life. You must be organized in order to be able to keep track of your goals. I used to sell this course called Paymaster Multifacts by Jimmy Phipps out of Colleyville, Texas. It was $179, I think, with a $100 commission to the salesperson. I sold about 5 of them. And he got this information from Glenn W. Turner, who had his Dare to Be Great motivational course. So before I get started, I remember in Dare to Be Great, I had those audio tapes too for a moment. And Common Bond was another company that they started afterwards. There was an audio tape that said, which is greater, the oak tree, the giant oak tree, or the little dandelion? Right? One's big, one's small. Which one is greater? And the answer is that neither is greater than the other. They both have their own beauty, like the sun, the moon, the ocean, the earth. They all have their own beauty. So our goal in life, or my goal in life, all humans, we are supposed to grow, develop ourselves, and become successful. That's why I'm reading this course to you. One of the things that you need to know how to do is to cook. Especially if you're a man. In the United States, it is very necessary for men to learn how to cook. Women too, but women usually learn somehow. You must be a competent person, and you must learn from other people. So I recommend cooking, carpentry, plumbing, electricity, any skill that is useful. Like right now I'm just cutting grass. And I know that remote control lawnmowers exist, and I would love to have one. Right? But at this moment in time, because of my lack of wisdom in my youth, when I had $101,000, well, it was in my wife's name, and we lost it. So right now I'm going to get it back. It will take a lot of work. But money is very useful. So you must learn a way to use money. You cannot eat money, not the green paper, right, or whatever paper your color of paper. But it's useful as far as buying food. Right? So I also want to learn how to grow food. So my first step is to cut the grass. And then I have an income because I'm helping. Apparently, most of my customers are senior citizens. They're only 20 years older than I am. Some of them still drive and things like that. But it's my turn now to start working so that I can make my dreams come true. All right, so let's find out what aptitude means. Let's see if it tells us, because my idea for aptitude in this lesson is for instance, if you're a giant 8 feet tall, then judo might not be the martial art for you. Now, if you're 5 feet tall, then judo might be the one that helps you because there's the one throw where you throw the judo throw. The person punches, you turn around and throw. But if you're 8 feet tall, that might not work. Aptitude. Also, I remember that if you want to be a mechanic, and well, if you have some sort of disability, like you don't have your hands, then it might be difficult for you to be a mechanic. If you still love mechanics that much, you could become a creative designer and just work with another person that, as a team. But physically doing the work might not be a part of you. Like I speak to my mother through other people most of the time. This way I don't have any problems. I just avoid contact is my, while I live in the United States, that's what I must do. Aptitude. Most people think successful people possess a special wisdom or talent to become wealthy. Yes, you do need a special wisdom and a talent to become wealthy. Successful people look for answers to common problems plaguing society, and they strive to correct the problems. Okay, the problem I'm fixing right now is the lawnmower, the grass. Everybody has tall grass around me, so I'm fixing that problem by cutting their grass. Most people feel inadequate to achieve success in life as they have never been taught how to deal with problems. This segment is designed to help you understand why most people never achieve success in life. Is it because the American people are stupid? No. Is it because the average person does not have what it takes to make it in life? No. Would it surprise you to learn that even a bum on the street can become wealthy in America by using a few simple techniques for success? No, it wouldn't surprise me. He would be one step down from where I'm at. In fact, I always think about, like, what if an alien came in here and just landed right now? And he says, okay, I need food, I need shelter, I need money. All right? This alien from Mars or from outer space, he would have to learn quickly how to survive in this planet. And the schools sometimes don't teach this. So here we go. We're going to get it here. Any person who is a history buff will recall stories about people with little education and big ideas who have changed the world in which we live. During the development years of this country, there were no business colleges or special laboratories funded by large corporations or government to develop products that make life easier or cures for disease. And there were few politicians to interfere with free enterprise. There were only those with a common interest of providing for their families and living a simple life. I remember in Honduras that my grandpa told me about this Arab family that he met the father and the mother when they were selling clothing on the streets. Now here, if I grab a t-shirt and I start selling it on the street, I could probably get arrested. But in Honduras, you see that. You see people walking around with clothes. Do you want to buy this shirt, sir? You want to buy this, these pants? You see people like that. Street vendors. Now, where did they end up? They owned a gas station. And this is, what, 60 years later. They owned, oh, I love their store. The father was a shoemaker and leather worker. So he used to make saddles for horses. And machetes, they need a pouch that they go in. It's a case for the machete, made out of leather. They have hats. I used to love smelling the leather when I walked into his store. His wife used to make dresses. She was a seamstress. But they also had discipline. Like, they would lock up the refrigerator so that the children would not get up in the middle of the night. They had perhaps 6 children. And so that nobody would get up and eat in the middle of the night. They were very organized. They owned a building where they had to store on the first floor, and then they lived on the second floor. One of their sons became a cow doctor, a veterinarian. Another one, a chemist. He used to make frijoles. But the frijoles, he would put them, Hondurans don't like using cans. So it was in a pouch, in a, like a Ziploc type of bag, which he would call, he was using NASA technology from NASA, something that the spacemen would use, astronauts. All right, so let's continue. Most of our founders were poor, uneducated, unskilled laborers, farmers, miners, fishermen, trappers, merchants, and cattlemen. Had these folks been smart, they would have waited until the 4-lane highways were built to make the trip west. Orville and Wilbur Wright, the Wright brothers, would have waited until Boeing or General Dynamics built a wind tunnel to experiment with their airplane. And old Henry Ford would have waited for a government grant to build his assembly line. If Thomas Edison had any sense, he would have given up on the light bulb after 50 times or so, rather than 10,000 tries. And then here it says, thank heaven the slide rule was not developed at that time. For some ignorant person would have figured out how all the things we enjoy today were impossible to build. Everything in America has been developed by trial and error. Wisdom is the use of common sense by those having to make do with what they had to survive in spite of overwhelming odds. The discovery of America itself was an accident. The average American citizen has lost much of the luster of life, or the striving to become more productive. We seem to be caught up in the comfort zone, which runs parallel with the twilight zone. There is a saying which says, 5% of the people make things happen. 15% watch things happen. And 80% don't know what happened. Our political leaders use and manipulate the population by catering to the representatives of various special interest groups. We, the people, plod along in life assuming everything is under control until the roof falls in. All right, so Henry Ford, Edison,